welcome to our 5th wonderful Wednesday. And it's sad to say, but this is our last one. But what a great month we have had with a lot of exciting stories and some super songs, a lot of great crafts, and definitely some good recreation. But guess what? Today's a special day because we have an awesome guest with us today. Our own Knight, Sir Boyd Harper. Come on in and welcome. Woo, how are you today? He's good. And I wish you would look. He has all his armor on. So remember, each Wednesday we've been talking about different kinds of armor, and we relate it to God, our armor of God. So first we're going to point out his belt. Lift up your thing right there. Look, that belt, the belt of truth. And remember, that was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and how they told the truth, that they didn't want to bow down to those idols, that they believed in God and worshiped Him. And then we've got his breastplate of justice on. And that's when David and Goliath, and little David said, I don't need all that big old armor. But Goliath had it all on. That was the breastplate of justice. And then we've got our shoes down there, our spats, the shoes of peace, when Mary had to walk that long way before baby Jesus was born. And then we've got our big shield of faith right there. Look at there, he's carrying that one. And that's our shield of faith when Peter was walking on the water. And today we've got his helmet of salvation. Look, it's got even that goes way down over his eyes and everything. Look at there. Woo, the helmet of salvation. Well, what is salvation? You're going to find out the story today that there was 2 guys in jail about Paul and Silas. But anyway, salvation is when you turn your life over to God and you want to follow all the things that Jesus has taught us. And so that's what salvation is. And when you wear a helmet, I don't care whether it's a bicycle helmet or if you're skateboarding or you're playing football or whatever, you wear a helmet to protect your brain. Even I wear a helmet when I go bicycle riding. It also protects your eyes and your ears because your brain is all the things that make us do and the ability to do everything. And so that's kind of related to salvation because you are making the decision to follow God. And he's even got his sword with us today, which what Goliath had, of course Goliath didn't need it, but this is our whole suit of armor. Now, do we all have to go out and buy a suit of armor like this in order to follow God? No! But God wants to relate it all to us and all the different things and the different stories that we've used this month. So, Sir Knight, thank you for joining us in North Castle today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Yes. All right, so a minute ago I did say that our story today was all about a guy named Paul and his friend Silas. Let's start off by using our verse, can we? Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Ephesians chapter 6, the 12th verse. Well, Paul and his friend Silas, they were hanging out together. And all of a sudden, Paul had a dream that told him to go to a big old, kind of like a state or a country called Macedonia. And they were to do that to share all the good news of Jesus Christ. Well, they traveled to this city called Philippi. Well, they were hanging out in the city and doing what they thought we were supposed to do, is telling everybody about how wonderful it would be to follow Jesus and do everything. Well, some of those people, they didn't want to follow Jesus. They got mad at Paul and Silas because they were stirring up trouble. And they said, we're so mad at you, we're going to put you in jail. So sure enough, Paul and Silas got put into jail in the city of Philippi. Well, around midnight that night, Paul and Silas were singing church hymns.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so.
All of a sudden, an earthquake happened. You know what an earthquake sounds like? Boom, boom, crack, boom. Yeah, an earthquake! Oh my goodness gracious! The earthquake shaking so much, the jail doors popped open. So all the prisoners who were in jail, they could have escaped. And probably some of them did. But the jailer was so afraid that Paul and Silas were going to escape, he had his sword ready to kill himself. But Paul and Silas says, no, we're not going anywhere. We're just sitting right here chilling out. The jailer was so amazed that Paul and Silas didn't try to escape. The jailer said, what do I have to do to receive Jesus Christ? So Paul told the jailer all about who Jesus was and they needed to believe in Jesus and to follow Jesus. Well, the jailer got so excited, he said, I absolutely do. And he said, would you come to my house tonight and tell all my family about it? So sure enough, Paul and Silas went to the jailer's house that night, and his whole family received salvation. In other words, they all believed in Jesus Christ. So this helmet that Sir Boyd had on a minute ago reminds us of the helmet of salvation, which leads us to believe in Jesus Christ. So when you're feeling sad and you're kind of worried about dangerous things that are going to happen to you, you can always remember that helmet of salvation that Paul talked about, or also you can again remember our verse, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power.
Hey guys, welcome back to our wonderful Wednesday. We have Sloan, Miss Giggles here, and Parker, Mr. Giggles, and I'm Miss Jen. And we are going to do our last science lesson for Bible school.
Again.
This week, our Bible story had to do with Paul and Silas and how God saved them from jail by creating a powerful earthquake. Now, that earthquake was powerful enough to
free them
from jail, but not harm them. That's right. So, what we're going to do today is, in modern times, in our times today, scientists measure how strong earthquakes are, how powerful they are, using a tool called a seismograph. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a seismograph using a large bottle. I have a water bottle. You can use a 2-liter bottle of soda. You can use a milk jug. Once it's empty, you want to fill it at least halfway up with water to give it some weight and make it pretty sturdy. You need a clean sheet of paper. You need a marker. You need a ruler. And you're going to need some tape. Now, why do you guys think scientists would want to measure how strong earthquakes are?
To see how strong they are and how long they are.
Maybe how long they last?
To see how much damage they cause.
And how much damage they cause. That's exactly right. Scientists want to see how much damage these earthquakes cause and compare the damage that the earthquakes cause to the strength of the earthquake. So we record how strong the earthquake is using the tool called a seismograph, which we're going to make in a second. One more question for you guys. What is an earthquake?
An earthquake
Shaped
is
to the surface of the earth.
Is the surface shifting around.
Okay, so it's the surface or the outer layer of the earth actually moving and shifting. And when that happens, it creates vibrations, and those vibrations are an earthquake. So let's get started building, guys. All right, so you're gonna need to uncap your marker. I'm just gonna put the cap on the back, and we're gonna need to tape this marker to the end of our ruler to create an L shape like this, okay? A little bit bigger, baby.
Okay. That big?
Sure. So the first thing is taping down that marker to create that L shape on your ruler. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to tape that ruler so it's kind of like an arm coming off the side of the bottle, whatever bottle you're choosing to use. So we're going to tape it just so the tip lightly touches the paper. And I'm going to do it from here. Okay. Let me get some tape ready on my ruler. And then we'll tape it to the bottle.
Like so.
So that the tip gently touches the paper. You don't want it to press down too hard on that paper, because if it's pressing down too hard, then when you have your earthquake, it's not gonna move at all. And you want to capture the motion of that earthquake. All right. So you can see the marker is writing on the paper. Now, let's watch what happens when we create an earthquake. So first earthquake is going to be Parker, and Sloan, you're gonna move the paper. You're gonna only move the paper in one direction. I want you to make a gentle earthquake. And let's see what happens with our seismograph. Okay, pull that paper. Don't touch the arm. Okay, so the line on our seismograph started here and it jumped here, and then you can see it's not very what?
Wiggly.
It's a little bit wiggly, right? It's not completely straight, it's a little bit wiggly. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna see if we create a stronger earthquake, what might happen. So what do you think might happen to the line our seismograph makes if we create a stronger earthquake?
It might be wigglier or maybe
The line I'm holding. Wiggly.
It's gonna be a little bit more wiggly. All right, so let's see what happens. Parker, you're gonna pull the paper this time, and you're gonna let Sloan create that earthquake. You're gonna pull the paper.
I know.
She's fine there. Okay, so what do you think? Was the line a little bit more wiggly that time?
definitely.
Definitely. So we started here and we ended up way down here. So the line was more wiggly. There's some jumps in that line. So the stronger the earthquake, the what the line?
The wigglier.
The wigglier the line on the seismograph. I hope you guys have enjoyed the science lessons for all of our wonderful Wednesdays for Vacation Bible School this summer.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Good morning, children, and welcome to our 5th and final day of Wonderful Wednesday. And this is going to be our crafts as presented today. But first, I'd like to thank some people, Miss Jennifer and Miss Emily and Miss Nancy, who spent so many hours cutting out pieces and assembling kits for our crafts. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the time that you gave to us. And now we're going to start with our 3 and 4 year olds and showing their craft. Now we had a lesson today from Miss Alice on Silas and Paul singing in jail. So parents, you have gotten either a box that was like this or a box that was like this one. And your first act is to assemble whichever one of these 2 boxes that you got, because that's going to be our jail. And putting that together doesn't need to be done here because it's pretty explanatory. You just fold it up like you would a pizza box or a gift box and put it together. Now on the inside, you're going to add a sheet of black paper. Now this sheet of black paper that you got may be bigger than what fits in the box, and you may have to do a little snipping and bending and tucking, but the one that you have got will probably fit pretty smoothly in the bottom of a box like this, or it may need to be folded a little bit and trimmed off and put into this other box. We had 2 different kinds of boxes at the church, and that's why we went back and forth so that we could make the best use of the materials that we had. So when you get these put together, then whichever one that you have, then you're going to decide, how can I make this look like the jail that Paul and Silas were in? So we're going to take some long jail bars and we're going to put it across. Now it's probably easier to put it on the inside of the box and look a little better. So what I'm going to do is take the glue and put a little bit at each end, like this, and then we're going to put it down like this across the box. Now you have about 4 bars and you're going to do that with all 4 of them. So if you like, you can go across here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then children, you can add the jail bars that were supposed to keep Paul and Silas in. But no jail is as strong as the power of God, as the jailer found out later when the earthquake broke them free. Now after letting this dry just a little bit and moving the bars to where you want them to be, and you do the same thing if you have this one, right of bars right across here. Then you're going to take I'm going to move my piece of paper over here since we're going to be consistently working on one of them until we finish it. So we're going to put the glue on the back of the black sheet of paper and squiggle around a little bit in the middle and add it to the bottom of the box. And then we're going to add Paul and Silas, and that's where it takes a little bit of figuring things out. You want to be able to look through the bars and see them, so you don't want to put them all the way at the bottom, but rather up a little ways, right about in here. And that's true if you're using this box as well. Then you're going to put some wonderful music in there to show that they were singing. So we're going to put our music notes inside, right up above Paul and Silas, to show that they were singing. Then we can close our box up, and you can open and close it. You can add other characters to the box. You can put a guard on the outside of the box. You can draw stones and rocks as if it was a stone prison, and you've got the whole thing complete. Whichever one you have, that's the one you're going to put together. And we hope you enjoy celebrating and singing with Paul and Silas. Thank you so much. Good morning, kindergartners and first graders. Today we're going to be doing our craft about Paul and Silas singing in jail. First, we're going to take the styrofoam tray. It has little holes punched in the top and in the bottom. Now we're going to take this piece of paper. It looks like a stone wall, and we're going to turn it over and put glue around the backside edges and squiggle it in the middle again. Then we're going to put it down in the middle of the styrofoam tray so that we can still see the holes. If you can't see the holes on your tray, trim a little bit off of the paper. Now the next step, you're going to need a grown-up for that, because they're going to need to help you to put all of these strings through threads through the needle. So you're going to put them all the way through to the other side and pull that down pretty far. Then the other end, you're going to need a knot. So a grown-up can help you roll and put the knot in the end. And if there's nobody to do that, you can go through and then tape it on the back side. But as it is, you're going to come along and you're going to go right up through this hole, the first one at the top, then go all the way down to the bottom hole. We're making the jail bars in the cell. We're going to come right up beside that one, so I'll need to turn it over to find out where the back side is. Go back up to the top. So we're starting a pattern where we go up, down, up, down. Each time we find a new hole, and we go all the way across. Come Sometimes it'll get caught and you just untwist it and keep going. To the back, up to the top, into the hole in the back, down again. So you're going back and forth across. When you get to the end, you're going to go up and down. Now, you can take the last thread and cut it off. Put a piece of tape across the back to hold on. Very good. Now we have our jail cell, and we can take Paul and Silas and put it underneath. So you can put Paul and Silas in jail, then you can show them breaking free. Then you can put them back in jail and let them break free. So you can go back and forth with this game and show how Paul and Silas were released from jail after the earthquake. Thank you so much. Good morning, second graders. Today we're going to be doing a very simple but beautiful craft based on the Bible verse, if God is for us, who can be against us? When all of these Bible heroes were locked in prison or in a fiery furnace or wondering what to do when an angel came to see them, they were able to know that God was on their side and that nothing could go against them. So today we're going to be doing a beautiful craft based on this plan. Okay, now the first thing that you are going to do is you're going to take this pink piece of paper, or blue, or yellow, or green, whichever one that you got into your kit, and you're going to be writing on that. You've also got a big black hardboard, and you've got a beautiful picture. Each person's picture is different, and you've got a background color that matches this piece of paper. They might both be green, both be yellow, both be blue, but these are the things that you're going to need, along with a bag that has beautiful sparkly jewels. Now you're going to lay things out first. You're going to lay the small piece at the bottom. You're going to lay the bigger piece at the top so that you have a nice even border in between. You're going to lay your picture in the middle of this, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece of paper and you're going to write the Bible verse on it. If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. If God is for us, who can be against us? Now you're going to take that piece and after you have written your words on there with marker, pencil, whichever materials that you plan to use, you're going to put that down here, back in its place at the bottom. Then you're going to take the other piece of paper that is larger, that's a matching piece of paper, and you're going to put that down exactly where you want it to be. You're going to take the beautiful outdoor picture from God's world, God who made all the beautiful things in all of creation. You're going to put a little bit of glue on the back, not a lot, and you're going to put that in the middle, so that that colored piece frames it around the edge. And now for the fun part. The jewels are always the best part. You're going to take all these glittery jewels out of here, and then you're going to start putting a dot of glue here, there, a few. Then you're going to be turning your jewels upside down and put them on. I would say to do about 5 at a time, 5 or 6. Then you decide, do I want jewels to go all the way around this, or do I want to have jewels that go here and there all the way around? If you decide that you want them to go all the way around, then you'll need to start with some that are far apart from each other. Because if you use them all up in one side, then suddenly you realize, oh, I don't have any for the other side. So you'll need to make a plan. So I do this by spreading mine apart and putting them other places first. Then you go in between, adding some more dots and adding some more jewels until it looks exactly the way you want it to. And we hope you enjoy your craft and remember how powerful God is in our world. Thank you. Good morning, 3rd and 4th graders. Today we're going to be doing a craft about all of the wonderful things that you hope to be when you grow up. This craft is easy to do, but not easy to get it looking exactly wonderful the way you want it to be. It takes some planning. So we're going to zoom in so that you can see how to do these. You will open this small bag that has a lot of words in it, but the most important word is going to go in the middle, and that is B. So we might as well go ahead and get that one glued down right in the middle, okay? Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to think about all the things that you hope to be. And whenever you put one of these words down, you need to think about, am I generous? Am I brave? Am I strong? Am I amazing? Of course you are. Am I honest? Now wait, I don't want to put a purple one next to a purple one. I'm going to move that out. Wait, that doesn't quite fit. I'm going to have to move some things around. Am I kind? Can I take my scissors and trim some off of this word so that it fits a little better? Sure I can. Am I thoughtful? Am I happy? At least most of the time. Am I peaceful? Am I faithful? Where can I fit that? Maybe if I cut some pieces off of that, I can get that to fit a different way. So you move through calling out your words, deciding where they fit, deciding how to make them fit better, until you build the whole scene. And as I have said, it is fun to do, but it's not all that easy to separate colors, move things around, and get everything to fit. So if you get all of yours to fit and it looks amazing, please send us a picture. We would love to see it. Thanks so much.